Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a great summer and not taking a vacation from your vocation, which is to love God, neighbor, and self more fully. This book's about how to love self more fully. In our culture, it may seem like the best way to love self is just go nuts. Unlimited paint huffing. Oh my goodness, it's great. But have you seen our readings this week? That's not true love. Unlimited pleasure, unlimited good things, they end up breaking the pleasure-pain balance in our mind until we have this deep addiction and anhedonia. All this pain and I still feel nothing. But now the good news is that we are past the problem portion of the book, and now the solution portion of the book. So how do we find balance with unlimited pleasure? Balance, and we have unlimited pleasure on the pleasure side. It summons those gremlins on the gremlin side. Well, to find balance, we do that by embracing pain. Embracing suffering, pushing down on the pain side of the balance. That way the brain sends you positive gremlins or mogwais or gizmos, from Gremlins, the movie. Back in college, there was a girl whose nickname was Gizmo. It's a fun name. Because just as too much pleasure pushes the balance to the gremlins, by adding pain, you push the balance to the gizmos. You become less vulnerable to pain and better able to feel pleasure over time. They did another unethical study where instead of mice, they tortured dogs. So they took them, they put them in cages, and they shocked them. The dogs went, ouch, that hurts. The pupils dilated and their eyes bulged. Their hair stood on end. And the dog just did not have a good time. But the scientists kept on shocking the dogs. Their behavior began to change. The dogs were still annoyed and still whined, but didn't shriek. But they noticed that once the shockings ended, the dogs began to experience these extreme fits of joy that lasted even longer than the shocks. What we've learned from this experience, that pushing down the pain side of the balance, it summons the gizmos to you. So what can you do? You can wear a shock collar, I suppose. Don't do that. That'd be weird. What you can do is embrace other forms of suffering. This is what exercise is. It's it's torturing your body, but you do it and you feel great. The runner's high is real. You can fast, feel that hunger for a bit, then eat food. You can have cold showers, which really suck, but afterwards you feel great. If that does not work out, we can always start up a fight club at St. Francis. So we have to intentionally seek out pain, which, by the way, this too can become an addiction. One of the interesting things she says in the book is that the only thing in this world does not have an addictive quality, i.e. the potential to summon gremlins, is relationships. Relationships with friends, relationships with God. So you should always be searching out these things. But the second way that Dr. Anna tells us to overcome addiction is through self-binding. It's when you intentionally and willfully set up obstacles between yourself and your drug of choice. It's when you recognize your weaknesses, and during times of strength, you prepare for times of weaknesses. So that when you have the desires, there's no deciding. You've chosen ahead of time, I'm going to make it impossible for me to huff paint. I will throw them all out. It's like when you set up a screen limiter on your phone. Okay, you know what? I decide right now I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Okay, limit. Great. I've chosen now, so I can't make a bad choice in the future. You have all these physical self-bindings. More importantly, are the emotional ones. When you take on the identity of someone who does not do these things, I'm someone that loves myself. Therefore, I won't waste time on Instagram, and I'll be with friends. I'm someone who takes care of my body. Therefore, I won't just mindlessly drink Pepsi. I'm someone who's willing to do hard things that are good for me. I'm going to have these bindings on who I am to live a better life. This self-binding to avoid these addictive habits, along with pursuing pain and suffering, it helps bring a balance to the soul and balance to life. Next week, we'll finish our June book club. Thanks for joining us. But our July book club is going to be The Napoleon of Notting Hill by G.K. Chesterton. It's a fictional story about this new king of England who decides for jokes, hey, let's enforce all those silly laws from medieval times. So you have these modern men doing pomp and circumstances, and things are going great until one guy takes it seriously. The Napoleon of Notting Hill. It's a fun story and a good way just to prepare for our new semester. And best of all, it's free on YouTube. So I'll start posting videos about that at the start of July. So see y'all later. Have a good week. Bye.